Reports of flying saucers are nothing new. From the beginning of recorded time, men have been seeing unexplainable things in the sky, and there's no reason to doubt they saw something. The question is, was what they saw really there? And what was it they really saw?
There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide at all.
What's up? Welcome to Somewhere in the Skies Live. I am your host, Ryan Sprague, and it's been a night. It has been a night. I was just telling our incredible moderator and co-host, Suzanne, what happened just before we went live here. Pretty much. I'm on the third floor here in my old tenement building here in Scotland. Gets a little hot if the heat's on, so I open the window. Bad day to do that because the seagulls have returned, and this apartment turned into Alfred Hitchcock's Birds for about 25 minutes. I was fighting a seagull to not come into my apartment, and it slapped me. It slapped my hand away. Yeah. So that happened. How are you guys doing? Welcome to all our regulars, to all our new people tonight. I'm so happy to have you here as we break down all the latest UFO and space related news. And it is a week for space, guys. We are definitely going to get to some really cool stories when it comes to going to the moon. Did you know that was happening next week? Yeah, that's happening. First time in a really long time. We're going to talk all about that. What else? We've got everything, the latest UFO news and some exciting stories, some interesting ones, some controversial stories, but that's how we do it here on Somewhere in the Skies Live. But before we get to the news, I do want to take just a few moments here to thank some of our brand new Patreon subscribers. We have Eve Amu 1, Francesca R, Bait and Switch, and Bill K. So thank you to our brand new Patreon subscribers. I hope you enjoy your rewards and benefits over there on Patreon. You get early access to the podcast episodes. You get bonus episodes. We put out a bonus episode this week called Missing Time at Yuma Proving Ground, a very mysterious UFO case that occurred when a woman pulled over to help a tortoise cross the road, and then a UFO shows up. I cannot make this stuff up. That happened. You can hear it right now over on Patreon. You can join and listen at patreon.com/somewhere skies. So thank you again to our brand new Patreon subscribers. Other than that, we have the super chat and super stickers are open all night for you guys. So if you would like to help out the show, that is a great one-time way of doing so. Your support truly helps us continue and grow. And we have a goal of 10 tonight. I'm going for a goal of 10. I know it's ambitious, but I know you guys can do it anytime, anytime, any price. Doesn't matter. Big or small, we will take anything here at Somewhere in the Skies Live, and we greatly appreciate that. If we reach our goal of 10 super chats and super stickers tonight, you guys will get to decide what my next top 5 video topic is going to be about. I'm recording one right now for you. Should be up this week. But yeah, you will be the deciders of the next one. So that'll be really, really cool, really fun. Also, we have a couple brand new Apple Podcast reviews that I wanted to read out here as well. I'm blurry. Hold on. Let's give this a try. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. All right, I think I'm back. I think I'm back in business. Can you hear me? Nice. All right, let's give this a try. Oh, VPNs. Don't ever use NordVPN unless they're a sponsor of the show. I'm not going to promote them. So thanks, NordVPN. Anyways, let's read this Apple Podcast review that's been on your screen for long enough now. Havana, they put in the code word from a couple weeks ago. I've been listening to Ryan Sprague's Somewhere in the Skies on Apple since 2020, and it remains a must listen for anyone into aliens and the paranormal. Ryan's deep research, clear storytelling, and genuinely engaging hosting make complex or fringe topics accessible and entertaining. Each episode blends compelling interviews, thoughtful analysis, and just the right amount of curiosity. Whether you're a skeptic or believer, his show consistently delivers well-produced, thought-provoking content that keeps me coming back. Thank you. Thank you so much to Richard Derrick for that awesome, awesome review. And then Dave Santos 2.0 says, Ryan does a solid job. And both of you gave us 5 stars. Thank you so much, guys. Truly do appreciate that. Guys, go over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. In the Spotify comments, you're going to get a code word in just a sec. Put that code word into your comments for this episode or in your Apple Podcast review. And your code word for this week, you ready? Code words. Sleeping dog. That's right. The code words for this week are sleeping dog. Be sure to put that somewhere in your Apple Podcast review or in the comment section of Spotify for this episode, which will be out this Wednesday. I will know that you watched or listened by putting these code words somewhere in there. And it's a fun way to get you guys involved, and we will shout you out on the upcoming live streams as well. Am I better? Am I more clear? How am I looking? Somewhat cool. Thank you, Suzanne. Hopefully that stays crystal clear tonight. I haven't even checked the chat out yet. How's everyone doing? What up? Black Uni is here. Andrew Berger film. Welcome. Guys, if you haven't already, check out Andrew Berger's short film, Rabbit, which is right here on our channel. Rabbits, excuse me. And it's so good. It is so freaking good. And Andrew let us house it right here on the Somewhere in the Skies YouTube channel. It's about whistleblowers and UFO crashes. Who doesn't want to see that? Go watch it after the live stream tonight. So a special shout out to Andrew as well. I see all our regulars. Hi guys. Some new names. Thank you so much for being here. Truly do appreciate that. All right. Enough of that. Let's actually get to the news. Who are these guys? Well, you should know because they're the 4 astronauts that are going to the moon on April 1st in just a few days. Can you guys believe this? Our first mission to the moon in forever, and no one's talking about it. But I sure as hell will be watching the launch if it happens April 1st. We'll get to that in just a sec. Because that's going to be pretty interesting. Artemis 2 crew prepares for April 1st launch to the moon. Artemis 2 is set to mark a historic return of humans to deep space with its planned April 1st launch, sending astronauts on a mission around the moon for the first time since the Apollo program. Man, that's crazy. I got a quick video about this that I'm going to share with you guys to kind of get us hyped for the mission and what they're going to be doing. And then this is going to lead right into our next story as well, which I find pretty fascinating. But let's go ahead and give this video a watch and talk a little bit more about Artemis 2 after that. Check it out.
We're excited. We could be just days away from America's first crewed mission to the moon in more than half a century. The Artemis II crew arrived at Kennedy Space Center on Friday. As early as this Wednesday evening, NASA intends to launch 4 astronauts, 3 Americans and 1 Canadian.
Well, the big moment's almost here. A big moment for this crew, for NASA, and for this new era in space voyaging. This will be the first time in decades that anyone has traveled beyond low Earth orbit. And you could hear the excitement in the voice of Mission Commander Reed Wiseman when he landed here.
Hey, let's go to the moon!
Here they are, the crew of Artemis II, Earth's first lunar travelers in more than a half century. They could launch as soon as next Wednesday, April 1st, when the launch window opens.
What should be the expectations for this mission?
April 1st is not a guarantee. We got to go feel this whole thing out. The rocket is ready. We are ready. NASA is ready.
The crew of 4 will lift off from Florida. In all, their round trip will cover 500,000 miles. Over 9 days, their Orion capsule will take them to the moon, loop around its far side, then return to Earth for a splashdown off the coast of San Diego. Artemis II's goal, prepare NASA for an eventual moon landing, scheduled for early 2028 with a crew of Artemis IV. Charlie Blackwell-Thompson's the launch director. She has final say when Artemis II will fly.
How many different things have to be going perfectly for you as the launch director to say, we're a go?
We have 500 launch commit criteria, which are our rules that we are go or no-go by.
Blackwell-Thompson then put it another way, more simply.
We're not going to fly till we're ready, and the hardware will tell you when it's ready.
Launch in 10 seconds if you're syncing your watches.
NASA selected this crew nearly 3 years ago. They've trained for this mission ever since. This critical test flight will shape NASA's future lunar timetable. It's also the first time people have ever flown on the SLS rocket or in the Orion capsule on top.
The ultimate learning is going to be the mission. And so that's one of the things I'm looking forward to, is coming back and talking about how much we've learned as we fly.
Exciting times as well. I heard I might be blurry again. Let me know in the chat how I'm looking. I don't know what's going on tonight. The bandwidth is just not keeping up. We got too many people watching, which is a good thing. That is definitely a good thing. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this happens. So this is all kind of under the premise of a new space race, basically. A competition with China. Who is going to get to the moon? Who's going to basically take over the moon, as it were? Under a restructured Artemis program, the first crewed landing is now targeted for Artemis 4 in 2027, with plans to increase mission frequency using reusable, commercially supported systems, potentially enabling landings every 6 months. And that leads right into our next story here, guys, which, let me get this on your screen here. Basically a 3 phases of building a permanent base on the moon. That's right. That's what's happening. NASA is unveiling new plans to build a permanent moon base as the space competition intensifies. NASA is pivoting from short-term lunar missions to establishing a permanent human presence on the moon. And I have a quick video about this one too, to kind of break down what the mission is and what they are kind of planning to do. So let me go ahead and pull that up here for you guys. NASA's moon base. Here we go.
Is this? Because it sounds pretty ambitious.
It is incredibly ambitious. And I will say I'm really excited. I was there at Ignition Day earlier this week. It's a really exciting time to be a part of the space program and watching what NASA's doing under the leadership of Jared Isaacman. And obviously, there's a lot that still needs to be figured out. We haven't been back to the moon in 50 years. But now with a clear, cohesive, action-oriented plan for returning humans, and this time to stay, it is certainly ambitious, I will say that, but it is also a very exciting time to be part of the space industry.
Okay, let's talk about the literal nuts and bolts of this, because the Lunar Gateway Station, largely already built in orbit, But the game plan now is to do something that's permanently stationed on the moon's surface. So first off, where's all the money for that going to come from? Because that sounds expensive to me. And then secondly, how possible is that, and how much more technically difficult is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just to address the money question up front, it's the folks behind me, right, that write the appropriations laws in this country. And so it's going to require, Administrator Isaacman and the folks at NASA to sell this to the Appropriations Committee on the Hill and sell them on the idea of advancing the Artemis program in this direction. And you mentioned the Lunar Gateway program, which had been a large part of the Artemis architecture, has a lot of the international collaboration components of the program. It's going to require working with those allies as well to make sure that there's buy-in to provide the necessary assets on the lunar surface to keep our astronauts alive and doing science from the moon this time.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep them alive. We got a minute here. China is also trying to make progress for a moon base by 2030. I mean, are we just trying to keep pace here, or are we trying to win this moon base race here? Who's going to be the first to put the flag on the moon?
Well, the U.S. did put the flag first on the moon in 1969, so it certainly is a much broader field. But the universe is certainly much larger than just the moon, right? This is a multi-front competition with a great power competitor, and so the competition for the 21st century is happening in the areas of scientific discovery that both the Chinese and the United States are actively pursuing, and the moon base is a critical component of that.
I'm a mess tonight. What is going on? Am I still blurry? I don't know. That's what the live stream is for. Moon bases. Are you guys for it? Are you against it? Do you think we should be doing this? Should that money and resources be going to help our own planet instead of trying to now take over another rocky thing flinging out there in space? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. This new space race between us and China, for sure. Let me see here. I have everything written down, but they pretty succinctly broke it down for you guys there. So there you go. Artemis possibly taking off next week for the first phase of the Artemis missions in the Orion shuttle, and then they'll come back, and then phase 2 starts in a couple of years. So it's historic. No matter what, it's going to be a historic moment. Maybe we'll live stream the launch or something. If it happens. There's so many, like they said in that first clip, so many things that have to go right in order for them to actually launch. So we'll see. We will see what happens. But let's go back in time for just a minute here, because this story is crazy. A second Sphinx might be buried under the sand, suggesting a mega structure below the Pyramids of Giza. Wow. This is so interesting. The Pyramids of Giza may conceal more than what's visible. So Italian radar engineer Filippo Biondi claims his team has detected a massive underground structure beneath the Giza plateau, possibly including a second hidden Sphinx. Using satellite imaging and subsurface scans, they identified a large mound aligned with existing monuments, pointing to a deliberate geometric design, supported, he argues, by depictions of two sphinxes on the Dream Stele, it's called. Scans reportedly reveal vertical shafts and tunnels forming an underground megastructure beneath the site, though the claim remains highly controversial. Critics, including Zahi Hawass, say decades of excavation have found no such evidence. With about 80% confidence, Biondi now awaits approval for further investigation to determine whether this is a major discovery or another enduring Giza mystery. Who's grabbing a shovel? Let's go. I mean, that's the only way we're going to find this out. I'm all for like satellite archaeology and LIDAR and all this stuff. It can really help. But look, there's one way to find out. Let's dig. I know the bureaucratic tape behind that and the resources and who's going to do it and possibly damaging these historical wonders of the world. I get it. I get it. But like if we could unearth a second Sphinx, that would change everything. Everything we thought we knew about the Giza plateau. So it's interesting. This is something we have never really explored or dug into on the podcast. So when I was looking into this story this morning, I actually went down a rabbit hole on YouTube and I found this vlogger who actually went to this place like 4 years ago and was talking about this second Sphinx. And he went and he paid off like a guard and a police officer, and they brought him down to see some of the possible evidence of another Sphinx. It was crazy. I couldn't believe I was watching it. It got a little like shady towards the end where they were like kind of holding the dude up for more money, being like, "Yo, we showed you the evidence. Like, cough it up." He's like, "I literally have no money left." It was it was kind of funny, but of course, being the persistent person I am, I reached out to him to see if he'd be willing to come on the show and talk ancient Egypt. Again, something I'd never really talked about on the show. Like, I'm on Ancient Aliens. Is there any connections with the ancient astronaut theory? All that stuff, something we've never explored, something I know nothing about. I watched maybe one episode of like Stargate Atlantis, which wasn't even Egypt. So like I'm ready. I'm ready to go down that rabbit hole. I think it'll be interesting. And maybe we could glean something from the past that can tell us what we're dealing with in the present and future when it comes to the mysteries of the world and the megastructures and all of that. So it's interesting. It is definitely interesting. Let me know how I'm coming in, guys. Might just be a blurry night. I do apologize. Suzanne says I'm okay. We'll see. Otherwise, it's 90s night here. We're going pixelated Nintendo for you guys. 8-bit, as it were. Cool. What else do I have here for you? Oh, this is cool. So our good buddy Tim McMillan over at the Debrief came out with this story recently. Let's pull up our trusty slideshow here. The headline here reads, "Scientists reveal what may be our best chance yet to find evidence of alien life." After decades of discovering thousands of exoplanets, astronomers are now shifting focus from quantity to quality, zeroing in on which worlds might actually support life. A new study narrows more than 6,000 known exoplanets down to just 45 rocky candidates within habitable zones where liquid water could exist. These planets were selected based on size, composition, and orbit, spanning environments from potentially overheated greenhouse worlds to those on the colder outer edge, helping scientists better define the limits of habitability. This refined catalog comes at a crucial time as instruments like the James Webb Telescope begin probing exoplanet atmospheres in unprecedented detail. The study also ranks these planets by how easily they can be observed, creating a roadmap for future exploration. While familiar targets like TRAPPIST-1 and Proxima Centauri b remain key new candidates, and some orbiting stars older than our sun offer intriguing possibilities as well. But the shift is clear. Scientists are no longer just finding new worlds, but actively prioritizing where life might exist. So cool. So cool. We're narrowing in, guys. I love this. When there is a convergence of science with the possibility of alien life. I know we talk about it every week. I'm blurry. Sorry. I don't know. Sorry, guys. With the possibility of alien life having visited, once that convergence happens, it's going to be disclosure for all. So I'm looking forward to it no matter what. no matter what. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. Okay, let's move to our first UFO related story of the night. And then we're going to take a quick commercial break. Maybe I can figure out this blurry thing going on. How's everyone doing in the chat? What are you drinking tonight? I didn't even ask. I usually ask. I got a Guinness, as per usual. Keeping it classy over here with the stout. Rein it in, Garrett says. Come on, man. It's a UFO space technology show. We talked so much science in the past. Come on. Come on. We're not just UFO whores over here. Come on, man. All right. Suzanne said, eh. Yeah, good point. Good point. Another pilot encounter. We covered a pilot encounter on the show last week. We played some audio from a report of pilots experiencing a UFO in real time. Well, guess what? We got another one for you this week. This story came to me from Suzanne, and this is the story about a black disc. On March 14th, 2026, an American Airlines flight approaching Philadelphia International Airport reported the following in released audio. So I'm going to go ahead and play that audio for you guys right now. This is really, really cool. So hang tight. Let me find the video here. Here we go.
Flying disc that just went over us at about 1,300 feet.
Is that a flying disc?
Yeah, I'm not really.
Roger, I'm not seeing any targets on the scope, but I'll let everyone inbound know, thanks.
Yeah, Tower American 3013, ILS 27 right.
American 3013, Fleet Tower 1320 at 9er, right 27 right. Clear to land, use cause previous arrival reported a flying disc at 1,300 feet. They said it flew over.
Okay, clear to land, and we'll be watching American 3013.
American 1837, high speed, kilo spot 6, contact ramp. Do you have any more specifics about that disc, just for some reports?
I really don't. It was black, and that's it, unfortunately.
Do you think it could have been a drone?
It didn't look like it.
Was it like frisbee sized, or?
Potentially, yeah, frisbee, disc golf, maybe like a balloon. I don't know. It definitely wasn't a balloon that had air in it.
Roger.
Wow. Crazy. Was it a drone? Was it a balloon? A balloon without air in it? She said. It's so interesting. I love these. I love that we're now getting all of these pilot reports. This is what we need. This is what we need to shed the stigma, to show that pilots every single day are running into UAP up there, which is cool, but it's also extremely alarming. That is a flight risk right there. I mean, look at the thing, the morphing UFO we covered last week that like brushed past a commercial airplane in, an area out near Area 51. Like, what if those things had collided? It's crazy. It's crazy. This is why I'm happy that things like the Americans for Safe Aerospace and stuff exist with Ryan Graves and all that. We need this. We definitely need this. So yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, look, we're trying to cut this down. We've been going like 2.5 hours on the live stream, which is redonkulous. So I am going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to dive deep into the UFO stories of the week with Suzanne, our moderator, who hopefully will be much clearer on your screen than I am. I don't know what's going on, honestly. It might be the seagull has done something, interrupted my signal, my Wi-Fi here tonight. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But stick with us. Going to take a quick break. I got a new commercial for you guys, an announcement that I want you to hear about how you can become a part of the Somewhere in the Skies podcast in the very near future. And then we're digging deep. We're digging deep into the UFO news. So hang tight. We will be right back with Somewhere in the Skies live. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, Ryan Sprague here from Somewhere in the Skies. The podcast has always been and always will be completely free for you to listen to. But creating it every week takes a lot of time, research, and resources. And to be honest, it's just never been free for me to create. That's why we built a few simple ways for you to help support the show and keep it going strong. You can join us over on Patreon or through Apple Premium. Both offer the same awesome perks. Ad-free episodes, early access to new content, exclusive bonus shows, and even priority to ask our guests your listener questions. It's a quick and easy way to support what we do for just a few bucks a month. And right now, you can even try Patreon for free for a week to see if it's right for you. To learn more and to join, head over to patreon.com/somewhereskies. That's patreon.com/somewhereskies. Or hit that subscribe button right at the top of your Apple Podcast feed. Thank you so much for listening, for supporting, and as always, keep looking up. Hey guys, Ryan Sprague here, host of Somewhere in the Skies. Very soon, we're going to be celebrating two very special milestones. One being the 10-year anniversary of the podcast. But not just that, we're also celebrating our 40th volume of witness accounts. And we want this to be the biggest, most powerful episode we've ever put together of witness accounts. Across the span of almost those 10 years, Witness Accounts has been built on one thing above all else: your UFO experiences. The moments that defy explanation, the encounters that stay with you long after they happen, the stories that deserve to be heard. And now we're opening the door wider than ever before. If you have had a UFO sighting, a close encounter, or any kind of unexplained experience, this is your chance to share it with the world. We are currently accepting both audio and video submissions, giving you the opportunity to tell your story in your own voice, in your own words, exactly as it happened. And if you're not sure where to start, don't worry. You can reach out to me personally, and I will walk you through everything together. This is more than just an episode. It's a collective record of real people having real encounters. By sharing your story, you're helping to break the silence, remove the stigma, and bring these conversations into the light. And who knows, when we start connecting these stories, detail by detail, we may even begin to find answers hiding within them. So, if you've been waiting for the right moment to come forward, this is it. Reach out to me through email or social media. Email address and links are in the show notes. We want you to take part in one of the most important Witness Accounts episodes we've ever recorded. Your story could be the one that resonates, the one that connects, the one that helps us all get a little closer to the truth, right here on Somewhere in the Skies. I hope to hear from you soon, and as always, keep looking up. All right, and we are back to Somewhere in the Skies Alive. Yes, please, guys, if you've had a UFO sighting or encounter, reach out to me, link down there in the show notes. Let's make this the best witness accounts yet. Cool. All of my slides are in the wrong order tonight. I don't know what's going on. Suzanne, what is happening to us? What is happening? Let me bring her in. Maybe she can diagnose these issues for us. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Hi, everybody.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know what's happening today. I think the seagull really like threw me off. But
Well,
it is what it is.
If StreamYard would sit on their hands for 1 week, we might adjust to the software changes, but every week, in fact, I've started sitting at my desk earlier, just like, what have they done this week? Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. I know everything's different. The minute I hopped in here, I'm like, okay, so I guess we're dealing with this tonight. But
Exactly.
how are you doing? You've been traveling a lot. You're working on your big UFO case as we speak as well. Yeah, how's everything going over there?
Everything's going great. We're back at the Memphis house. We are going to sell our house here in Memphis and move full time to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Wow. What a
Yeah.
place. What a
Yeah.
place to really put your roots down
No
and
kidding.
everything. I'm excited. What better place than New Mexico? I mean, for us UFO people, right?
No kidding. And it's been a wild week. We just got back Friday, I think. But the orbs in the sky over Los Alamos, which I can see out my back window, have been stunning. I got 18 minutes one night with them.
Oh my God.
11 the next night. And then we got in the car and came out here.
Now, are you recording these things or are you just experiencing them?
I am just experiencing them. And every time I thought I need to record, out they went. And about, they just go dark. And about the third time I thought, well, maybe they don't want a recording. I don't know. But I wasn't going to give up the opportunity to watch them for as long as I could watch and in order just to get a video. So we'll see. Maybe in the future.
Right. It's like those people at concerts who just have their screen up the whole time. It's like, what are you doing? Like, nobody is going to watch this on your TikTok and have even a shred of the experience you had watching it live. I never.
All behind this camera. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson's always like, why don't we have more videos of what? Oh, you got abducted by aliens. Why are you not filming inside the craft? And I'm just like, this is not a time to go live on TikTok. Hey guys, just dropping in, just got abducted.
Hey, just FYI, look what's happening behind me. Yeah.
Yeah. Smash that like button. Maybe they'll bring me back. It's just, that's not how these things go. It's such a deeply personal experience. And the last thing you're thinking about is, how am I going to document this and show it to the world?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Garrett
hey.
got it right. They might be able to just hear, thoughts. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? Yeah.
Really, really good point. Well, hey, should we start breaking down the UFO news?
Let's go for it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Our first story is bringing us to my third home, and that's Japan. Let's bring this guy in here.
Yeah.
So who is he? We're going to find out in just a second. Japan has officially announced a UAP office establishment. So on March 24th, 2026, a nonpartisan parliamentary group in Japan announced plans to create a dedicated government body to oversee UAP, with a formal proposal set for March 30th in Tokyo. That's tomorrow as we're recording this. So we'll have to do an update tomorrow on social media about this. Positioned under the Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary for Crisis Management, the initiative reflects a clear shift toward treating UAPs as an issue of national preparedness, coordination, and transparency rather than isolated incidents. Led in part by former MP Yoshihira Asakawa, the proposal calls for a unified whole of government approach integrating defense, intelligence, and scientific analysis. Prompted by regional security concerns and unexplained activity near the Genkai nuclear power plant, the effort aims to strengthen oversight, modernize response systems, and align Japan with a growing global push for transparency and structured UAP investigation. So go Japan.
Absolutely. They're joining France and Japan, doing it the right way and in an all-encompassing format. And meanwhile, over here, we're going to build a base on the moon or whatever.
Oh, come on.
I know. It's like, could we just go with it in an open format with open minds and gather the science and deal with it?
Right. Kind of like,
Go sit on
what
the
is
moon.
it? Yeah, let's go sit on the moon. Sky Canada, the Sky Canada project. This
Right.
sounds very similar to that. It's not just a national security thing that's going to play a huge part, but they're also looking at it from a scientific perspective as well. So
Right. And by the way, they also have like anthropologists and psychologists, those people layered in to handle the human end of things, which can be so very important.
absolutely. And I just love that Japan's getting in on the
Yeah.
conversation. I mean, when I was there last month, I spent a little time talking UFOs with our good friend Darren, who lives in Osaka. And I had the life-changing experience of going to the Utsurobun location where that ancient UFO close encounter allegedly took place. And I did have a profound experience.
How did it feel?
Cathartic.
Did it have a vibe to it?
Oh my God, yes. I mean, you are looking at a torii gate, which is basically what a torii gate is. You see them all over Japan. You guys probably know what they are, the big orange kind of gate things.
Yeah.
It symbolizes a gate to the gods, basically, to the deities and whatnot, in Shinto shrines and whatnot in Japan. So the fact that there's a torii gate right on this cliff edge where you're entering into another realm to the gods, and this is where an unknown vessel landed on the shores there, it was astounding. And I didn't have like a UFO experience. I wrote about it in my upcoming book about what happened to me while I was there on the cliff. And I'm going to save it for people to read in my upcoming book, which I just got an update about who's going to be writing the foreword for my book. It will be the one and only Diana Walsh-Pasulka. So I'm very excited about that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But yeah, this is all, I'm going off on a tangent here. I'm so happy that Japan's getting involved because they've had some crazy UFO encounters and it's just not talked about in their culture as much. So to kind of normalize it there, I think is important. And maybe we can start working more with groups in Japan. There are a few. So yeah, I think it's awesome.
I think it's awesome too. And I hope that more countries will follow. I think we're kind of stuck in our pattern, which I find non-productive, but other countries are stepping forward. Maybe they'll band together and work together, and maybe a light bulb will go off over some Americans' heads.
I hope so. We need it now more than ever, for sure.
Agreed.
For sure. What is our next story here? Our good friend David Grusch is back in the news.
Yes.
I'm just going to read the headline here, and then I'm going to let the lawyer take it from here, guys. This is...
Gareth is going to need to sit up straight because it's time for somewhere in a courtroom.
Somewhere in the courtroom. Dun, 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 dun.
Exactly.
Wait, that's Law and Order. What was the People's...
I'll take it.
Yeah, the People's Court music. Yeah. Or Night Court. You remember that one?
Yeah, I love Night Court. Yeah. I'll take that one.
All right. Well, David Grusch is back in the news because he is suing the United States Department of Defense /War. David Grusch has taken the United States Department of Defense to federal court in a brand new federal lawsuit. And this is not the case you guys have heard of before when it came to Loudoun County. So Suzanne, I'm going to let you take it from here. Tell us about the lawsuit. What the hell is going on? And why is David Grusch the most litigious person on the planet right now?
Well, I'm going to assess it this way. I think his lawyers have had enough. They've had enough. Here's what happened, everybody. So he filed this lawsuit March the 2nd of this year. I mean, just, days ago. And he filed it in the Eastern District of Virginia in federal court. And he sued the Department of Defense, the U.S. Attorney General, and the Virginia Attorney General. And here's why. Get these dates. September 30th of 2024, he issued a FOIA request to DoD, to its subsidiaries, to its component agencies, using all the magic language about how they tuck themselves into various pockets of themselves. And he pleads that what he's asking for are all the records related to him as a whistleblower. And of course, these lawyers, these are really good lawyers, and these lawyers are using all the wonderful language to make it as encompassing as they can on what these records are about David Grusch as a whistleblower. But also they pled that it's important and of public urgency to release this information. And what you ultimately find out when you read the pages of the federal lawsuit is that what they think they have asked for is going to help all the whistleblowers, not just Mr. Grusch. So bit of a holy grail out there. So anyway, they filed this thing March the 2nd of this year. They are required, the government's required to give estimated compliance dates or response dates. And so the last date that the lawyers for Mr. Grusch were given by DoD was May the 1st of 2025. And between the request made and the day they filed suit on March 2nd, 2026, they heard nothing at all. And that is 504 days these lawyers waited for a response from the government. So I think they just had enough. The government confirmed that they had received the FOIA request as they're supposed to, and they confirmed March 3rd of 2024. So anyway, the violations he's alleging are failure to make a reasonable search, wrongfully withholding non-exempt records, and failure to promptly produce what they have in their possession. So anyway, it's going to be a good one. We'll see.
You know, and it sucks that this is what it takes.
Sure.
Like, we have this process in the United States of the freedom of information. As a citizen, you have the right to request information from your government on something that is not classified. And at this point, it seems that a lot of this stuff, if it was classified, they need to tell him that.
They're required to tell it. They're not
required to tell him.
They're required to say can't be made available to you.
Right. And this reminds me so much of, I don't remember when it was, but Leslie Kean back in the day, before like the New York Times article and all that stuff, she filed a lawsuit against the government for files on the, I believe it was the Cash Landrum UFO event, where 2 women and a young boy had a close encounter with a diamond-shaped UFO. And it came so close to them that they got like radiation sickness, and one of them died of like cancer from it. And, you know, they sued the United States Air Force because they believed that they were involved with this thing. And the Air Force is like, nope, we ain't paying for that. No, we had nothing to do with it. And they're like, oh, then what was it? Extraterrestrials? Right. And they were like, we can't tell you that. Oh, then it was you guys. So
yeah, it doesn't work like that, people. It's not supposed to work like that.
Right. So I mean, that was besides the point. Leslie Kean would go on to file a request on information about the case and was denied that. Not denied, she was ignored, just like David Grusch. And it came to a lawsuit where they finally had to release a bunch of files to her about it. And that's the only reason we know that like the United States Air Force was somewhat tangentially involved with this case. So it's interesting.
And remember that David Grusch was an intelligence officer with the Air Force, including, what's the name of that insider entity, the National Reconnaissance Center. He was a senior intelligence analyst.
Yes.
So it's the same problem pool of government for Leslie Kean and David Grusch.
Interesting. Man, it all connects. As we talked about last week with our McCaslin story, which we will not be diving in tonight, guys. We don't want to go dark again, dark and disturbing this one. But if you haven't, go check out the episode that we did on the podcast recently. The missing general, the rocket scientists, and the web of Right Pat or something. I don't remember what I titled it.
Yeah.
It's one episode back on the podcast where we worked with the Sentinel Network, a news site, on our investigation into the whole General McCaslin story. And we found a ton of connections, and they're still coming in.
They're still coming in.
Yep. I spoke to the Sentinel Network just tonight, and there's been some updates, and we've possibly gotten in touch with some of the family members of some of the missing people who might talk to us. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. Everything's obviously very sensitive These are missing people, and it may have absolutely nothing to do with the UFOs. But you know, we're asking the questions, and the fact that they're even willing to talk to us is all we could ever ask for. So,
Exactly.
so we'll see. We'll keep you guys posted on that, and go check out the Sentinel Network as well on that. But
Absolutely. Give them
awesome.
a
Well, anything else on the Grusch story?
I think that's it on Grusch.
Okay. Let's move from David Grusch to our good friend Mark Christopher Lee.
This story will not die. What's happening?
It will not die.
It's
It will not
going
die.
down.
I actually, in my notes here, I titled this story "The Mark Christopher Lee Saga Continues."
That's exactly right. It's never ending.
So, Mark Christopher Lee, who set off the entire Trump to disclose the truth about UFOs in a May press conference rumor, he stated that one of his once confidential sources was none other than Robert Bigelow. He would eventually provide email correspondence between he and Robert Bigelow, saying that disclosure had been postponed. And now George Knapp, good friend of Robert Bigelow, has weighed in on Mark Christopher Lee's claims and emails. So I'm going to pull up, Suzanne, the tweets that Mark Christopher Lee put out here. But before we get to those, I'm going to... Okay, so what he did is Mark Christopher Lee posted screenshots of his correspondence with Robert Bigelow. And they said, I don't have them pulled up here, but basically like, disclosure has been postponed. This isn't happening. Trump got cold feet. This, that. And everyone's like, interesting. Okay, so there's the email correspondence with Robert Bigelow. But then this dropped by George Knapp. George Knapp would respond to this by saying, "This is bullshit. I spoke to Robert Bigelow less than 30 minutes ago. He says he has never met, spoken to, or emailed Mr. Lee. Anyone who knows Mr. B is aware he would never share private, sensitive information with some random UFO guy in a foreign country. It is not only false, but preposterous." Oh boy. So that went out, and I went to sleep here in the UK. And when I woke up, Mark Christopher Lee lives in the UK as well. And he woke up and responded.
Chapter 47 is out now. Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Mark Christopher Lee's response. He would say, "I am totally shocked this morning. Why the denial from Bigelow? I know George and he's a fan of my work, and I also know he's close to Bigelow. People have been calling me a hoaxer, but if so, why would I choose someone like Bigelow, someone that Knapp could easily contact and debunk? It makes no sense. I understand if my friends and fellow UFO investigators want to distance themselves from me. George and Jeremy, who I also know, are big players in this field. Peace." So that went out. And then soon after, Suzanne, he would say this: "I am not going quietly. Everything will be released and out in the open. The UFO circus is a shit show of charlatans and clowns. What is actually preposterous, George, is building an entire career on the bogus testimony of petty criminal and fantasist Bob Lazar, a guy who claimed he attended MIT, yet real physicists have repeatedly shown his level of physics knowledge is embarrassingly limited. That's the real sideshow." So that's kind of where it all went. And then to kind of, I guess, end this drama, Suzanne, Mark Christopher Lee would post a video on his Twitter, and I am going to play it. And then let's talk. Okay. Let's chat. Let's have a little, I think, moratorium on the Mark Christopher Lee, Robert Bigelow story here. I think Mark needs this all to end, and I think the UFO community needs all this to end, and it might be with this video that Mark Christopher Lee posted. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys right now. Give me a sec. All right, here we go.
I just want to apologise to, well, firstly with George Knapp and then Robert Bigelow. I fucked up. I'll put a full statement out once I can think straight. I just can't think straight at the moment. I should never tweeted about Bob Lazar and George Knapp. George Knapp I respect a lot. I've spoken to him a few times. He's a really nice guy. So yeah, there you go. It's taking its toll on my mental health. That's not an excuse. Yeah, sorry. I'll tell you all soon. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. I think he probably would have been better served if he had just said, I'm not sure now who I've been communicating or if who I've been communicating with is really Robert Bigelow, or am I being victimized by a psyop? I don't know. It is time to lay it down. It is, whether it is real or psyop, what are you going to do with it? It's been discussed ad nauseum. This is what it is. We're not going to get to the bottom of it unless Bigelow or Knapp steps forward. I don't see that happening, but
yeah, I struggle because Mark seems like such a nice guy. Like,
and he seems sincere about it, and his reactions I thought were appropriate in terms of, but wait a minute, this is who I'm talking to. I'm showing it to you here. So I don't know. I have a feeling he got psyoped, but
there's one of two things happened here. Mark has made this all up from the very beginning, or he was lied to, and the person he was speaking to was not Robert Bigelow. I do not believe it's the first. I don't see this being a big hoax by Mark Christopher Lee. I think there is someone behind this who did this to him, and he was an unwitting person who got really excited about this as a firm believer in an extraterrestrial presence and a possible disclosure by the United States president, current United States president, and was like, yeah, wow. And he got caught up in the excitement of having a source and being told things like that happens in this field all the time.
Right.
And I can't fault him for like wanting to get that information out to the public and everything. But I just think, and he has admitted at this point, he thinks he handled things in ways he probably should not have. And
I think he probably did. I also think if you'd set up a big lie just for attention, I'm not sure you would be out on social media talking about your struggle with mental health around it. I just think somebody got to him and may not have been who he thought it was.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, like, it's so obvious at this point that it is not actually Robert Bigelow. I don't know. I don't know. What I want, end of the day, is this second source that Mark says he has, because it wasn't just Bigelow. Someone else was validating or quote unquote confirming all these things that Mark was allegedly being told by Robert Bigelow. A second source who apparently also spoke to Bigelow. Why is this other source not coming to Mark's aid or Mark's defense? Or was that source, was he lied to and played as well? Or was he a part of this big elaborate psyop, as you called it? I don't know. But like, if anyone knows who that second source is of Mark Christopher Lee, out them. Absolutely. I don't care. Don't dox them, but out them. Like, at this point, what is there left to lose with all of this?
Well, I think you're right. And here's what I want out of it. I want a forensic review of the emails he's been getting. I want to know, you can track all that mess back most of the time until it falls off a cliff at some point. You might not get to an actual human, but you would know whether you were in theory getting to Bob Bigelow. you know.
Right. Like he signed the emails yours RB.
RB.
Knapp said he never called himself RB. He would always sign Bob on
Yep.
his emails. And he would not say yours. He said that is a very British thing to do, which I know for a fact.
I know you do. Yeah.
That is a thing here. Yeah, everyone says yours in their messages. And I never did that when I lived in the States or anything.
Never. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also think maybe, you know, what if he has done that forensic review on the email chain and has figured it out, not saying anything?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm done with this story. I even emailed you earlier today or texted you and I'm like, should we even cover this? I don't know. Like everyone likes a little drama and everything, but like these are the things that muddy this field that we strive for credibility in. And it was just, as Mark actually said, a shit show. And yeah, it won't track back to Bigelow. Yeah.
You probably won't. Yeah, that's what I would expect.
Yep. End of the day.
Yeah.
I do just want to say I wish Mark well, his mental health, if this truly has taken a toll on him.
And I
Be
think
healthy.
Yeah.
Get off the freaking internet. Touch some grass. It looked like he was outside in that video. Go wander the British countryside. Pet a cow. Pet a sheep. Do what you got to do, man. And
Sit with the
just like
chickens. Yeah.
Have a
Agreed.
cup of tea and just call it a day. Like we will move on from this. Mark will move on from this. Everyone's like, his reputation is ruined. Give me a fucking break.
It
That
can
doesn't
happen to
happen.
anybody. It can
Yeah.
happen to anybody. I
Yeah.
don't think his reputation's ruined. I do think he needs to wrap it down. A lesson learned. You know, learn a lesson from it and move on. He going out on further limbs, like about Bob Lazar, not helpful. Not helpful. Focus. Focus on where your problem is. Just don't create more tree branches to cut off.
Exactly. Ooh, okay. We've spent way too much time.
I know.
We're done. I'm officially calling what did I call it earlier? A moratorium
A moratorium. We have a moratorium.
on Mark Christopher Lee and the Bigelow saga.
At least until the next chapter.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Suzanne, do you remember what the code words were this week?
I do remember what the code words. How about if I just put them on the screen right there?
Sleeping dog. What could that be in reference to?
I don't know. Did you just pick it out of thin air?
I didn't. Because here it is right here.
There we go.
I can't believe I'm reading this headline.
I can't either.
Sleeping dog documentary about UFO researcher Jeremy Corbell lands a May release. This story comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter. An upcoming documentary titled Sleeping Dog sets its sights on Jeremy Corbell. Directed by Michael Lazowski, the film follows Corbell's evolution from martial artist to underground documentarian to one of the loudest and most polarizing megaphones for military UFO encounters, leaked footage, and whistleblower claims. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Sleeping Dog has landed North American distribution with Falcon Scout Media and is slated for a mid-May release across theaters and a digital platform. Beyond profiling Corbell himself, the film aims to capture the broader moment we're in, where UFOs have shifted from late-night punchline to congressional talking points. What do you think? A documentary about Jeremy Forenames.
I think I'm going to let you watch that one. You can tell me all about it.
Oh, I am going to watch the shit out of this thing. Look, I give Jeremy Corbell so much shit. I still consider him a friend. I will be upfront with everyone. I used to be pretty close with Jeremy Corbell. We talked almost every single day. I probably have not spoken to him in 4 years. At this point, I guess you would call it kind of a whimpering falling out. We just don't talk. His career kind of took off with everything he's been doing. I went my separate ways. I have no ill will towards him. I am critical of some of the things he's brought forward and all that. But at the end of the day, like, he's gonna do his thing, and he's knocking on doors and, he's making stuff happen, whether you like it or not. And he does not give a shit whether you like it or not.
That's a fair assessment. And I do give him kudos for that, because you can't be out here on YouTube and social media and take in all that garbage. And there's a lot of garbage. We're really lucky with our group. We get very little, but every once in a while, just like, oh, people, come on. And he just doesn't care.
It is what it is. I'll put it that way. Like, look, we're covering this. We have weaponized clips we play all the time. Like, their work says something. It means something. Whether you think it's all disinformation or military propaganda or they're grifters, like, people are going to think what they're going to think. But I don't know how to feel about this.
I know. I think it's because it's oddly focused on a worker instead of the work. And I think that's kind of hitting us in a weird way. But, who knows? Maybe it's, I will give it to him. He does move the ball forward. Love him, hate him. He moves that ball forward. So,
yeah. Michelle says he's passionate.
He is passionate.
That is one thing Jeremy Corbell has always been since the day I met him. Oh my God, the stories I could tell of driving through the streets of Tempe, Arizona with Jeremy Corbell, and man, some of the nights spent drinking with this guy. Like, I miss it. I miss it because he's fun to hang out with. But
yeah, I'm sure he is. He's a big personality.
He is, and maybe that is what is needed for something like this and a field like this. Like, he makes headlines, that's for damn sure. So of course I'm going to watch the documentary, because like they said, it's not just about him. Like, there will be some revelations throughout about some of the things he's discovered, some of the things he's worked on, some behind the scenes of these congressional hearings that Jeremy had taking part in, earlier things before the hearings. I'm interested. I'm interested to see what the last 10 or so years of documenting Jeremy Corbell's life will look like in film, and what the purpose behind this documentary is. Like, what is this for? What is why? Like you said, why now? Why is it happening? And I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear a whole bunch more of, this is what I know, but I can't tell you how. That constant setup. So we'll see.
Yep.
We'll see. You can report back to me what you think.
I will. You're sitting this one out. Okay, that's fine.
Fine, I'll
That
watch.
is fine. Okay, let's move to our next story of the night, which has to do with Bill Maher. The late night kind of comedy pundit. I've never watched his show. We've shown a few clips in the past. But this segment, I should say, is pretty big. People are sharing it left and right, inside and outside of the UFO community.
Sure.
Like, everyone's like, yo, if you want something to show that person in your family or your cohort or your whatever, your church about UFOs, show them this. So I condensed the clip a little bit. I am going to play it because I think it's interesting. And then I'd love to get your thoughts on it. Like, what you thought of it, and does this help or hurt the UFO topic? So should we just watch it?
Let's watch it. See what everybody else thinks too.
Sounds good. So this was a monologue that he did on the Bill Maher show. Here we go. Okay. Now I cut out like a pretty large portion because I don't want to get copyright strike. But kind of that was the core of it. He also went into this hypothetical, like, aliens, if you're watching this, like this, that. Like, it was a very well structured comedic bit, but there was a huge tone of seriousness to it too, which I really appreciated. So what did you think? What do you
Actually
think?
substantive as well. I love how he's getting his laughs. That's his job. It's okay. But also pulling together all the prime pieces that have hit our UFO plates in the last, 2 years. Presidents, whistleblowers, military, the big movies. So I thought he did great. And I thought that's a great way to desensitize the public as well. Let them laugh, let them listen, let them learn.
Hmm. Now, I wish he hadn't done the probe jokes. Like, it's so outplayed.
I
And like
know.
in the whole history of like UFO abductions, the whole probe thing was like 3-4 cases,
I know.
maybe at most. The biggest one probably being the Whitley Strieber case, which is one
Right.
of the most famous alien abduction cases ever. Deeply traumatic for that man.
Absolutely.
What happened to him, and the world would go on to make a meme out of the whole anal probe thing, which I hate.
Right.
I hate, but like, you know, it's hard. It's hard because like it's a comedy show. I get it. Bill Maher's a comedian at the end of the
Right.
day.
And I
But
do think he was
controversial.
trying to make the point is it doesn't happen anymore. Everybody's moved on. Tech must be different,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. Kind of I think we're very sensitive to people laughing about the topic, right? And so when someone takes that kind of joke approach, it's like, wish you hadn't,
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's hard to because like they say that the best way to leave an impression on someone and to make them think is through comedy.
yeah,
Like comedy is a absurdist mirror that we put on ourselves. And I do agree with that. I'm a playwright. Like that's by trade. That's what I was trained to do, and that's what I do professionally. And I write dramas. I don't write comedies. I just don't have that skill. And I will say, like, dramas are impactful in the moment. They're emotional. They make you feel, and yes, they make you think. But I don't remember dramas when I leave a theater
right.
years after. I don't remember a play that was just strictly a drama. Comedies, yeah, they stick with you.
They
And
do.
I think it truly does put a mirror on us in ways that we might not want to see or whatnot. So I do think there's a place for comedy in UFOs. Obviously, it is a ridiculous thing when you really think about it. But at the same time, I'm just like, I struggle because like still when he brings up UFO, someone in the audience will laugh.
That's
And
right.
I just hate it. The jokes were the actual point of the piece. Oh, you still think like this. Good point. Like
That's what I think too.
saying like the ones who don't believe are now
Yeah.
the conspiracy
We're the
theorists.
conspiracy theorists, not the rest of us
Love
watching
it.
science and military worlds work around this topic.
I love it. I've said like in the past how many first dates I went on, and when they found out I was a ufologist, a UFO researcher, how many second dates I never got after that. The stigma has always been there. It will always be there
Sure.
in some ways. But
Sure.
I do kind of look at that now and I'm like, hey, we were right. We were right. So
Right. Something's happening. We're not,
something's happening.
it's not in our heads.
Yeah.
I always love to, when someone is uncomfortable around the topic, this happens to me a lot when I get questions about the podcast. It's like they don't want like asking for a friend, right? So they don't want the link for them to watch. They want to give it to their brother or their next door neighbor or what. You are sitting there
Sure.
watching that video right along with me to see what's happening.
The old asking for a friend.
Asking for a
Yeah.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's it was good. I hope he continues to
I do too.
probe this topic and
Stay on
yeah,
it.
stay on it, my man. Stay on it. Okay. We're moving to Brazil for our next
Yeah.
story. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Okay. Goodbye, Bill Maher. We hardly knew ye. So You brought this story to my attention. The headline reads, University professor and scientist arrested in Brazil for stealing biological materials. But it doesn't end there, Suzanne. So, Soledad Palmetta Miller, professor at University of Campinas, one of, can't believe I just said that, Campinas, there we go. One of Brazil's leading research institutions, was arrested after authorities discovered she had allegedly stolen biological material from a high containment virology laboratory on campus. Miller is an analyst at the National Biosciences Laboratory of the National Center for Research in Energy and Materials. So the case came to light when the university itself reported missing viral samples, prompting a federal investigation. According to officials, the material had been taken from the university. The professor, an Argentine-born researcher with a background in virology and advanced biomedical research, now faces multiple charges, including qualified theft, improper transport of biological material, and procedural fraud, while being released under strict conditions pending further legal proceedings. This is why we're covering it, though, Suzanne, this last paragraph here. Beyond the immediate criminal case, the incident has drawn wider attention due to the university's place in UFO lore. The University of Campinas has long been rumored, though never officially confirmed, to be one of the facilities where entities connected to the 1996 Varginha UFO incident were transported and studied. While no direct link exists between this theft and those decade-old claims, the convergence of a high-security virology breach at a site already embedded in one of Brazil's most controversial UFO stories has reignited speculation about what kinds of materials, research, or secrets may have passed through its laboratories, both known and unknown. So, oh boy.
Oh boy. And guess what else that Campinas is related to? The Colares incident. So little hub of alien activity going on there. Yeah.
Interesting.
You have to think maybe she had enough, was about to do her own disclosure or her own testing for disclosure. I don't know, but
Right. Like, was Soledad, like, did she know something that others didn't know about some of these biologics that were being stored? If this was allegedly the place where one of the Varginha aliens or Colares evidence was stored, was she trying to smuggle that out? We don't know. That's a big part of the story, is they have been very tight-lipped about what it was that she transported and or stole, as they're calling it. And we probably will never know, because this is highly sensitive, dangerous stuff that they're working on.
You know, so we have like a micro chance, because it is Brazil and things do leak. In the Colares incident, they had 3 leaks. 3 separate leaks, a couple of years apart from each other. So maybe.
Interesting. I did not know that. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's an interesting story nonetheless. We'll keep you guys posted if we hear any more.
Absolutely.
Maybe she got like a piece of the alien or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I see Robert Chafee saying, what does James Fox say about it? We probably ought to reach out and ask him.
I'll text him right now. Hold on.
Yeah, send him a message.
No, I'm just kidding. Should I call him?
Just kidding.
Yo, what did Soledad smuggle out, man? Like, let me do. It is interesting, you know, that he just had his event at the National Press Club in Washington, James Fox, about the Varginha case, and now this woman is stealing biological materials from the same university connected.
Right.
Ufology.
I know.
The never-ending connect the dots game.
Exactly. Constantly.
Well, you know who else is connecting dots, Suzanne?
Yes, I do.
Do you? All right.
Yeah.
There she is.
Mm-hmm.
Beatriz Villarreol's validated by a NASA scientist. So we talked, I think it was last week, about how these papers that Beatriz had written about these transients and possible connections between these transients, UAP, nuclear detonations, all of that. Her papers were rejected by a scientific archive, and it kind of put a damper on that whole thing. And then, boom, out of nowhere, this former NASA scientist is coming forward and just released a paper as well. So let me read a little bit here. Former NASA scientist has independently confirmed one of the strangest astronomical findings from the earliest nuclear age. Unexplained flashes of light appearing in the skies before any human-made satellites existed. Ivo Busco's recent preprint study supports the earlier work by Dr. Beatriz Villarreol and her Vasco team, who identified brief mirror-like transients in archival sky images from the 1950s. Many of these flashes occurred during a period of intense nuclear testing between 1947, and appeared highly reflective, sometimes resembling rotating objects, despite predating the launch of Sputnik. Analyzing nearly 100,000 photographic plates from the Hamburg Observatory in Germany, Busco identified dozens of these short-duration flashes using independent methods, confirming they were not artifacts or known celestial phenomena. The events appeared suddenly in one image and vanished in the next, often lasting less than a second, and even more frequently observed in the days following nuclear tests. While no definitive explanation exists, both studies suggest the flashes could be sunlight reflecting off objects above Earth's atmosphere, pointing to a persistent and unresolved mystery, raising the unsettling possibility that something unknown may have been quietly observing Earth during one of the most volatile periods in human history.
I love it.
Boom.
I love it. They tried to silence her. It did not work.
Didn't work. Former NASA scientist coming out with a pre-published paper, and it mirrors her findings from a different observatory.
Right. It's intellectual academic confirmation of her work.
Right. And back when her papers came out and we knew they were from the Palomar Observatory, everyone's like, okay, good, but maybe the data is flawed, maybe the plates are whatever, we need somewhere else, we need different plates. Here you go, guys. Hamburg, Germany had the same things show up in their plates at the same time. That is mirroring her work, a reflection of her work, as it were. So
absolutely. And I wonder if the company, the group that takes all those papers in, who denied her papers, put their denial out there on the website and then would not peer review, I wonder if they might reconsider now that someone has stepped forward and done exactly what needed to be done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I look forward to whatever comes next with this one as well. I will be, I'll be speaking with Beatriz at a event here in the UK in this summer on my birthday, actually, the day of my birthday. We'll be speaking at a event called Cosmic Frequencies in Hexham, UK. So I'm I'm very much looking forward to that. But not only that, Suzanne, I announced that the foreword for my book will be written by Diana Walsh-Pasulka. I just confirmed tonight that I will be doing an entire chapter of the book on the work and life of Dr. Beatriz Villarreol as well. So,
wow, that's wonderful. Good for both of you.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm excited to get to know her more and learn more about her and her life outside of all of this stuff as well. As many may not know, I am going to be coming out with my third book later this year, and each chapter is focused on one individual who has basically inspired my work and my continued search for answers somewhere in the skies to all of this stuff. So I can't think of a better example of that than Beatriz Villarreol. So I'm really much, I said it again, I'm very much and also really much looking forward to having her in the book as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, lucky for her and good for you.
That's extremely kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
I think that's it. Oh my
I think
God,
we
this
did
is
it.
so weird.
We did it.
We're an hour 30 in and we're done. I can't believe it. This is like unheard of. But don't go anywhere, guys, because I'm gonna let you know what's coming up on the Somewhere in the Skies podcast tomorrow. This is going to be dropping for you guys. My interview with Luigi Ventitelli, the director of a brand new documentary called S4: The Bob Lazar Story. Oh man, Suzanne. Bob Lazar is going to be the poll. Thank you,
Pat.
God.
Thank you. Pat reminds
Thanks,
me.
Pat.
I remind you.
All right, the poll tonight was, will you be seeing the documentary about Jeremy Corbell? Out of 79 votes, 38% of you said yes, 11% said no, 32% said maybe, 19% of you said who, what, why. So there you go. More of you said who, what, why than no. So
Yeah,
there's our results on that.
That's probably a little prescient about what's about to happen with that documentary. But what do I know?
Hey, Corbel came out with a Bob Lazar doc like 10 years ago. Now we're getting a new one that will be out April 3rd called S4: The Bob Lazar Story. And I talked all about it with Luigi. And I will say this. There will be things you hear in this interview that will be dropping on the main feed in just a few hours that could change your entire perspective of Bob Lazar. I go back and forth on Bob Lazar all the time. I know there are people in this chat right now who don't believe a lick of what he had to say or what he did. I left this interview being convinced of some pretty big things when it comes to Bob Lazar, and I think we're going to learn more about those in the coming weeks. And when the doc drops on April 3rd, we are the first podcast to interview Luigi about the movie right before it comes out. So I'm really excited about that. I learned today that that Luigi and Bob Lazar will be on Rogan this upcoming Friday when the movie releases. But we are the first, baby. We got the first interview. So before you go watch the Rogan show, be sure to tune into Somewhere in the Skies this Monday, just a few hours here in the UK, for our interview with Luigi. I have a clip. You want to watch a quick clip?
Yeah, let's watch it.
This teases a little bit. All right,
Okay.
let's watch this, guys, and then we're going to get out of here, I promise. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go.
We have real, verifiable, reproducible evidence that is 100%. 100%. I'm saying this publicly. That proves something Bob Lazar said in 1989, that there would be no fucking way in hell that he would have known that, or any of us would have known that in 1989. And it is impossible to argue. It's tangible. It's verifiable. It wasn't leaked to us. It's public. We discovered it through public. It's going to clearly make a lot of noise, because if he was lying, there's no way he would have known this. No way.
I can't wait.
Oh, man. And that was just the beginning. Now, I should let people know we did a bonus episode for Patreon as well, where Luigi stuck around for another 45 minutes to answer listener questions. And there are some answers in the Patreon only episode that also are going to change the entire conversation when it
Wow.
comes to S4 specifically.
Excellent.
S4, the facility that many say does not exist. You might think differently after you see the
Wow.
documentary and some of the stuff that he shares in this. Or maybe you won't. You be the judge. But yes, the main episode comes out in just a couple hours. The Patreon bonus episode is also available right now on Patreon as well. So you can check that out at patreon.com/summerskies. Link is in the show notes as well. But yeah, again, super honored that we were the first that Luigi
Very cool.
decided to do an interview with. So yeah, check that out for sure. And last tease, I promise, we have the new co-host of the Discovery Plus television series Expedition X, Heather Amaro, will be a guest on the show. I am recording that tomorrow, Monday, March 30th. So if you have any listener questions for Heather, be sure to send them over via email or through socials as soon as possible, and I will try my damnedest to get to your questions for Heather. We're going to talk all about her expeditions. She went to the Hesteland in Norway, the Hesteland Lights, and they found something under the water there, Suzanne, that blew my mind. So obviously I'm going to talk to her about that. She's been to the Conjuring House. She's been to she's been all over. The Huska Castle, which is in one of the Slavic areas, I believe. She's going to talk all about that. So much. So I'm really looking forward to it. But if you guys have any listener questions for Heather, priority for Patreon subscribers. So again, if you definitely want your question answered, head on over to Patreon. You can join for as low as $1 a month, and that gets you priority to ask our guest questions. But I'll collect all the questions and we'll see what we get to. So yeah, emails in the show notes for that.
Great.
And then last thing, I promise, we have a Substack now. So you guys can go subscribe to that at ryan.substack.com. I just released an article called Navy Serviceman Reports 5 Separate Triangular UFO Incidents Over a Naval Air Station. So you can go read that right now on our Substack. Link is in the show notes as well. I'll be dropping new articles there all the time. And we're going to have guest writers coming to write for the Substack as well. So be on the lookout for that in the near future. But for now, you can read my articles at ryan.substack.com. Be sure to subscribe to that. Oh, we're done.
Did it. You did it.
I promise we are done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to our super chatters tonight. I forgot to shout you guys out. Thank you so much, Michelle. Truly do appreciate that. And to David as well. My contribution to the Ryan and Suzanne retirement fund. Keep up the great work. Retiring. Oh, man. I hope not yet. I should mention, I think we're gonna go dark next Sunday, guys. It is Easter Sunday. So yeah, we're gonna be out Easter egg hunting and doing all that stuff. So yeah, but we'll be back. We'll be back the following Sunday to bring you all the latest UFO news. If disclosure happens between tonight and Sunday, maybe we'll hop on and do a little something. But yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. You got anything going on, Suzanne, before we go?
Nice and quiet. I'm just going to enjoy it until tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. when I start jury duty here in.
Oh, God. The irony of a former attorney having to do jury duty is never lost on me.
Yeah, the odds of me actually making it onto a jury as a trial lawyer are precisely 0. But here we are.
Here we are. That is the judicial system in America playing out for you guys. For sure.
This is what they're doing.
What if you got there and they were like, actually, this is the David Grusch case? Has anyone heard about that?
I know nothing about it. Put me on that.
Yeah. Does anyone have a bias for this case?
None.
Interesting. Nonetheless, awesome. All right, that's going to do it, guys. Rate and review the podcast on Apple and Spotify. Leave the code word sleeping dog somewhere in your review, and we will know that you watched or listened to this. And thank you for joining us tonight, old friends, new friends, and we will hopefully see you very soon on Somewhere in the Skies Live. So thank you as always, Suzanne.
Oh, you're so welcome. Everyone have a great night.
Yes, have a great night, guys. And remember, keep your feet on the ground, but never stop searching Somewhere in the Skies Live.
nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide at all.
Spectre Vision Radio.